Height. Batting 7th, the left fielder number 7, Anya Vandersip. Batting 8th, the designated player number 6, Laura Ullman. And batting 9th is the second baseman number 23, Holly Jenko. Pitching for the Grizzlies.
We'd like to thank our corporate sponsors who have made this broadcast possible, and you, the fans, for tuning in. For the latest information, log on to ggcathletics.com.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lawrenceville, Georgia, on the campus of Georgia Gwinnett College. We are live from the Grizzlies Softball Complex for Game 2 of our doubleheader in this NAI Top 10 showdown between your 5th-ranked Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies and the visiting 7th-ranked Mobile Rams. Glad to have everybody aboard here. I'm Matt Mahoney alongside our 100% student-run production here on the Grizzly Digital Network as we get set for Game 2 of our doubleheader action. The Rams will be the visitors on the scoreboard in the all-black uniforms, a red stripe across the chest with white letters and numbers, hanging out in the first base dugout. Allison Sellers' Cook lineup will look a little like this. Infante, Vincent, and Sanders at the top. Butts, Easel, and LeDrew in the middle. Montgomery, Cole, and Woodruff down at the bottom. Number of changes there for the Rams going from Game 1 to Game 2. Meanwhile, for Cat Islandberg, the defensive lineup looks like this in the outfield from left to right. Vandersip, Bear, and Rossetti. Around the horn at McFadden, Wagner, Janko, and Wilhite. Pelaya's back behind the plate, and she'll catch the balls and strikes. From Gracie Hogg, the freshman who closed out Game 1 and got the big save for the Grizzlies and then win over the Rams by a score of 4-3. She'll get the start here in Game 2 for Georgia Gwinnett. And the gray uniforms hanging out in the third base dugout. And they got the beautiful conditions here, too, as well. As temperature in the low 50s, a little bit of wind, but will be a cool evening to finish out this contest as Gracie Hogg digs in. And first pitch, tap foul for a foul ball. And we're underway with softball here in Gwinnett County. Gracie Hogg from the right. It'll be Ela Infante from the left. Slaps another one down the left side and foul. As Ela Infante was the DP hitting in a 3-hole in Game 1, she'll move up to the leadoff spot and play first base here in Game 2. Hogg delivers in, gets a comebacker right toward her. She'll run it over to Wilhite at first and retire Infante for out number 1. GGC now 6-3 on the season, the 5th-ranked team in the nation with a feather in the cap and a top 10 win over the Mobile Rams. Meanwhile, the Rams limited action early on in 2020. Game 1 earlier today was their first game in over 20 days. First pitch swinging for the 2-hole hitter in Allison Vincent. And so a 1-1 start in that Division II doubleheader back on February 1st. Then they travel up here to Lawrenceville, Georgia in a long stretch in between games. And they lose that first one by a score of 4-3. Hall goes away with the pitch. It goes toward Wagner. Fields it on the run, throws it on the run. Not in time. Too much speed. As Allison Vincent dropped down the lineup from the leadoff spot to the 2-hole. And she's going to move from left field to right field. She moves on down the first base line to be aboard via the single. As Mobile didn't have any trouble getting runners on the base path in Game 1. The problem was scoring those runners. And Mobile, in total, left 7 runners on base, 3 in scoring position in a 1-run ball game. So we got a runner aboard with 1 out, and this will bring up the 3-hole hitter in Lindsey Sanders. Much more aggressive approach here for this Allison Sellers Cook team here in Game 2. Sanders moves up a spot in the lineup from the cleanup to the 3-hole. She'll move from first base to second base. Off-speed pitch. This one's fouled off to the right side, and almost as if the Rams are swinging at everything here in Game 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Hogg's way ahead as the Grizzly starter. Hogg inside that center circle, winds and fires. Swung on, ground ball to the right side. Janko's going to glove it, shoves it over to Wagner for 1. Wagner's going to hold on to it, can't turn 2. But the right idea for the Grizzlies as Sanders reaches on the fielder's choice, and we get the front end as Vincent's retired on the 4-6 put out, Round number 2, Sanders over there at first, and this will bring up the pitcher in Emily Butts. So after the Grizzlies allowed Alexa Good to hit in Game 1, it'll be the Rams letting their starting pitcher hit in Emily Butts. Butts actually came off the bench and had a pinch hit there in the 7th for the Rams. Induced that sacrifice fly into center. So she'll get the start inside the circle. And she'll be asked to grab a bat, too, as well. Healthy swing and a miss there. It's even at 1-1. Gracie Hogg, the starter for the Grizzlies, the reigning AII Pitcher of the Week in her freshman campaign. Literally the first week she's eligible for award, she wins it. Hailing from Marietta, Georgia. Fouls this one up to the right side. Wilhite giving a chase, pushing out a play. We mentioned the glory going to the Grizzlies in game number 1 by a score of 4-3. The glory also went to GGC Baseball Grizzlies by a final score of 12-2. So Jeremy Sheetinger and the 5th-ranked Grizzlies wrap up a 4-game sweep of West Virginia Tech. So we appreciate everybody that's tuned in all week long here on the Grizzly Digital Network. A big shout-out to Chris, Jack, and Nick, who were able to provide excellent coverage all weekend long of our softball and baseball extravaganzas, known as the Grizzly Classic. 2-2 from Hogg. Swung on. This one's popped up right side. Wilhite going back in foul territory. She'll make the over-the-shoulder basket catch for out number 3. So a nice job there by Gracie Hogg, facing a new Rams lineup. We'll get out of the first without being roughed up. We go to the home half. We'll look at Cat Islandberg's Grizzly lineup on the other side of this. You're watching the Grizzly Digital Network.
The 4-time defending national champion Georgia Gwinnett College women's tennis team is playing Florida National tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Be sure to see the team's full coverage schedule by visiting ggcathletics.com. This inning is brought to you by Fast Signs of Norcross and Johns Creek off Jimmy Carter Boulevard or Medlock Bridge Road. To check out everything they can do for your business, visit fastsigns.com. Fast Signs, more than fast, more than signs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. We take a look at the defensive lineup first for the Rams in the outfield, left to right. Woodruff, Montgomery, and Vincent. Around the hole, Cole, Elsley, Sanders, and Infante. Back behind the plate is LeDrew, and inside the center circle is Emily Butts. She'll take on the Cat Islandberg lineup of Rossetti, Bear, and Wagner. Stays the same at the top. Pelias, McFadden, Wilhite stays the same in the middle. Meanwhile, Vandersip and Ullman gets the start at DP at the 8 spot, and Holly Janko will get the nod in 9. As Raekwyn Rossetti takes the first pitch up and away for a ball, 1-0. Raekwyn Rossetti, a very similar lineup for Cat Islandberg. As aforementioned, 1 through 7 all stay the same. Rossetti puts that one in play, scooped up by Butts, and tosses over Infante for round number 1. So Rossetti is retired. This will bring up Kendall Bear. Like I said, first 7 spots in the lineup the same. What was Alexa Good in the 8 spot is going to be Laura Ullman, the DP. And Holly Janko remains the same in the 9 hole. So Kendall Bear digs in from the left side. Had a chance to talk things over in between games, and something I don't think we've seen before, these defenses adjusting to the slappers throughout the game of softball. But I don't think we've ever seen a team have that many players that close to home plate. I mean, a third baseman in Cole is all of 40 feet from the dish. The shortstop is within 50 feet. Second baseman is standing next to the rubber on the right side, and the first baseman is way back in coverage. But to take that many defenders and just really swarm the plate is certainly in something new we haven't seen from anybody. And the Rams, so far so good, trying to take down the Grizzly Slappers as Bears retired on a ground ball to Cole. As the lefties for the lefty slappers for GGC, Rossetti, Bear, and Janko were just 1 for 8 in game number 1. So that tactic may ring true again in game number 2. It's worked so far. Piper Wagner digs in. First pitch hits away for a ball, misses away for a ball, 1-0. Piper Wagner hitting and playing the same spot from game 1 to game 2. And with the performance by Alexa Good, who picks up the win in game number 1, it kind of gives the Grizzlies some options here in game number 2, because with Gracie Hogg coming in to close out the victory, which was important at the time, and now Gracie Hogg was going to be her scheduled game 2 starter, and we talked about how difficult it is to retire good offensive teams the third and fourth time to the lineup, and that's what Good ran into. That she was good through the first 3 times, and the fourth time kind of ran into some trouble in the 7th. We go to Hogg, so Hogg maybe have I don't want to say a shorter leash. Wagner holds on to the bat there. It's 3-1. I don't want to say she's got a shorter leash, but it may happen earlier in this game facing the Ram lineup the third and fourth time because she pitched the last game. So let's say Hogg only gets to the 4th or the 5th. Who do we get coming out of the bullpen, or maybe from the shortstop position? So Wagner, a historic game last year versus this Rams team, was her first game that she started in left field en route to the Grizzlies' trek to the World Series, and she hit a home run as the pitcher in game number 2 and a 2-0 win. Wagner hits this one to the right side, but drifting foul. And so Wagner certainly has had some success versus this Rams team, would be a prime candidate to potentially close this out if Hogg can't go the distance. Now it's full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wagner working on Emily Butts, and that one misses up and away for a ball, and so Wagner will be aboard via the base on balls. Emily Butts, a freshman for this Ram squad. Making her NAIA debut in a Rams uniform. The 2 previous opponents that the Mobile team had faced were Division II in that tournament back on January 31st and February 1st. They got rained out on the 31st. That's why they weren't able to only play 2 games on February 1st. Down there in Gulf Shores, Alabama. They had a midweek doubleheader, rained out last weekend, and they were scheduled to face some more weekend competition. What would be last weekend, but weather did not bode well for the Rams, so they go almost 3 weeks in between games to start the season. Pelaez takes that one upstairs for a ball. Meanwhile, Wagner's on the move, slides into second safely as the ball comes out of the shortstop's glove and Elsie. And so the Grizzlies have a stolen base. They've been ultra effective in the stolen base category this season. As Georgia Gwinnett now 14 of 18. That's almost an 80% success rate on the base path. So Wagner's in scoring position with 2 outs as Pelaez digs in. She'll flail this one up and out of play to the left side. Count even a 1-1. Pelaez hitting and playing in the same spot from game 1 to game 2. 4-hole and catcher. Butts winds and fires. Swung on. This one's hit well on the left. Giving it chase is going to be Woodruff. It'll be over top of her head. Wagner will come in to score. Meanwhile, Pelaez screws is up on up into second base with a clutch 2 out, stand up RBI double as the Grizzlies strike first with a run in the first, and they lead 1-10. So Pelaez belts a double and an RBI. Give the Grizzlies an early 1-0 lead. Pelaez now becoming one of the team leaders in RBIs. Give her credit for now her 6th of the season on her first double. Second extra base hit of the season after that home run versus Bryan on Friday. So Pelaez is up in scoring position. This brings a red-hot bat to the plate, and Leah McFadden. She'll chop this one to the right side. It'll be gloved by the first baseman Infante. She'll stomp on the bag and retire McFadden for out number 3. So the Grizzlies strike first with a run in the first. So we head to the second, 1-0. George Gwinnett here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. As we go to the second, Grizzlies leading 1-0. Gracie Hall got a little run support here in a second. She'll take on the Rams lineup of Elsie, LeBrew, and Montgomery. 5, 6, and 7 spot due up here in the frame. First pitch misses up and away from Gracie. 1-0 to Courtney Elsie. She had quite the day in game number 1. And she will stay in the same spot in the lineup. Only one of 2 Rams to be in the same position in the lineup, both offensively and defensively. She stays in the 5 spot and will play shortstop. She had a 2-for-3 performance and had a number of assists. This one's flailed up and out of play to the right side to the vacant Grizzly baseball complex. As the 4-game series wraps up, as Jeremy Sheetinger and the 5th-ranked Grizzlies complete the sweep of West Virginia Tech. What'd you say, Dale? 44 runs in 4 games for the Grizzlies, a 4-0 record, and 3 run rules. Not too shabby. Win streak out to 12? 12-game winning streak now. Two and 2. Swung on, popped up right side. Long way to go for Rossetti in foul territory. Still making the running effort, and she'll make the catch, changing terrains against the warning tracks for out number 1. Out number 1. Nice job there by Rossetti, who made a great play in right field to end game number 1 with a threat by the Rams. And a goal went to the Grizzlies. 4-3. So 1 out, nobody on now for the new catcher and Taylor LeDrew. First pitch swinging here, smashes this one to center. Bear going back, looking up, and that'll hit to the parking lot. Taylor LeDrew, first pitch swinging, smashes one over the center field fence. And we're all locked up at 1. So LeDrew, who got a pinch hit at bat and flew out to right field in Rossetti's mitt to end game number 1, gets a little redemption here and smashes that one over the center field fence for her first home run in a Rams uniform. LeDrew, a transfer in from Fairhope, Alabama. So just like that, we're all locked up at 1 apiece as the center fielder, Amberly Montgomery, digs in. So Montgomery, and came off the bench in a pinch hitting role in game number 1, gets the start in game number 2. She hits this one a mile high toward Piper Wagner, keeps her cleats in the clay and will make the catch for round number 2. So a very aggressive, free-swinging Mobile Ram squad in game number 2 have cashed in a run. So 2 out, nobody on again. First pitch swinging for Destiny Cole, the new third baseman. She gets down here in the 8 spot. Cole, a junior, out of Pinson, Alabama. Swing and a miss. Hall gets ahead 0-2 versus Cole. Cole DNP in game number 1. That's the start at third in the 8 spot in game number 2. Hogg delivers 0-2. That one just misses off the plate, gets away from Plies a little bit, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Hogg delivers in. Strike 3 on the outside corner there as Gracie Hogg will complete the strikeout, her first of game number 2. And it's a solo home run for the Rams that stands tall in the second. We're locked up at 1 apiece here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Family owned and operated with over 60 years of experience. Spencer Automotive has a location in dedicated taking care of your automotive needs. Spencer Automotive is located in Lawrenceville, 523 downtown Fort. You can find them online at spencerautomotive.com. With 2 convenient locations in Buford and Hamiltonville, Dr. Mansell, Automotive Industry. Have a passion for helping people smile from the inside out. Visit them online at automotiveindustry.com. Be sure to stay up to date on the greatest upcoming contests and much more by visiting GGCathletics.com. For the following GGC Athletics social media for all the latest on your favorite team. Use the hashtag GGC Athletics to have your vote heard.
Leading out for the Grizzlies.
GGC is committed to the NAI Championship character principles of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. Keep playing, keep learning, keep growing, game on. Learn more about the Champions of Character Initiative and the opportunities to play in NAI at NAI.org. Bottom of the second we go. It's a 1-1 ball game as Mobile waited all the way to the seventh inning to score 3 runs and make it a threat of Georgia Gwinnett. Now they've wasted no time with a solo home run in the second. So we go to the bottom half, 1-1 ball game. Cindy Wilhite will lead things off. First pitch swinging here, sharply hit over the shortstop. Elsley with a nice smooth transition, tosses it over to Infante and retires Wilhite for round number 1. So Wilhite quickly retired. And this will bring up the 7th spot in the lineup, and Anya Vandersip. Vandersip getting a start in left field in back-to-back ball games. Hitting the 7-hole in each contest. First one for a strike, 0-1. And this is some of the tough decisions that Coach Eilenberg has to make. Is you can pretty much lock in Rayquin Rossetti in right field in the leadoff spot. It looks like we're going to rely on the development of the freshman Kendall Bear in center field, and a number of games now where she's hitting the 2-hole. So the question remains, you got 2 seniors and a junior. Are your remaining outfielders to battle for that position in left? Vandersip's one of the seniors. She goes down swinging there for out number 2. Emily Butts' first strikeout of game 2. Then you got Taylor Takushi and also Ruth Jones. And so we've seen the rotation from Jones and now Vandersip out there in left field. So 2 quick ones here in the second. This will bring up the designated player, Laura Ullman. Ullman getting her first at-bats of the day. She was in the bullpen in game number 1, was considered to be a reliever, but instead of going from good to Ullman, they went from good to Hogg. Ullman takes down first strike, 2-1. So we did not see Laura Ullman in game number 1, but she gets to start with the bat in game number 2. Freshman out of Regensburg, Germany. Takes that one for a tough ball on the inside part of the plate. If you're Butts, that's a strike. If you're the Grizzlies, you exhale that's ball 3. Lots of promise and potential for Laura Ullman. Trying to develop into a Grizzly uniform there. That one's a strike on the outside corner. Now she's working to count full 3-2. Yes, Laura, Taiwan was probably fun. The Grizzly Invitational was a little bit of fun. So was the Grizzly Classic. But this top 10 opponent Mobile is a whole different animal here, and she'll get a quality of at-bat with a 2-out walk, and she'll trot on down to first. So some good experience for the new freshman. Now this will pass the bat now to the last lady in the lineup, and Holly Janko. So Janko digs into the left side. First pitch hits for a strike, 0-1. Janko hitting and playing in the same spot from game 1 to game 2. 9-hole in second base. A pair of lefties at the top of this lineup and a pair of lefties at the bottom of this lineup. 0-1. Janko puts that one in play. Looper to the left side. Long way to go for Woodruff, but she'll make the running catch across the left field line and retire Janko and the Grizzlies for out number 3. So we leave a 2-out walk on the base path. We've still got a 1-1 ball game. We head to the third here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Grizzly Athletics would like to thank our official healthcare provider, Northside Hospital, for an outstanding partnership to help keep the Grizzlies in the game. The power of the Northside Network includes hospitals in Lawrenceville and Duluth, as well as outpatient facilities and physician practices throughout Gwinnett and all of Metro Atlanta. Learn more at northside.com.
Nothing. Oh, my lips so luscious. The way I spice it up with the Mac brushes. L'Oreal got them woke watermelon crushes. That's probably the reason all these boys got crushes. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? It said my lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss be popping. I'm standing at my locker and all the boys keep stopping. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? It said my lip gloss.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia, as we head to the top of the third inning. 1-1's your score. And leading things off for the Rams will be the bottom of the lineup here, 9-1 and 2. Woodruff, Infante, and Vincent scheduled to make appearances versus Gracie Hogg. And again, to put things in perspective just a little bit here, we talked about the challenges that Alexa Good would face the third and fourth time to the lineup. She was good the third time to the lineup, but got roughed up the fourth time there. In the seventh with a single, walk, and then we bring in Gracie Hogg, who gets the last two outs of the seventh. So Hogg has only seen two batters from game number one, but that will add up, especially when you get down toward the bottom of the lineup, that third and fourth time. So we'll keep an eye on that progress here in game number two as Savannah Woodruff digs into the left side. 2-0, puts this one in play. That one's up and out of play. And we had a fan that almost had a souvenir and a story to tell, but instead might have a bruise to take home with him. So Savannah Woodruff is the only other Ram outside of Courtney Elsley that is hitting and playing the same spot from game one to game two. Everybody else is different. So Savannah Woodruff, actually I lied. She was in center field in game number one. Now she'll be in left field in game number two, but still hitting down there in the 9 spot. So 2 balls, 1 strike here. Hogg working on Woodruff. Delivers in, misses away, make it 3-1. 3-1. The win for Georgia Gwinnett in game number one is just the third win all time against the Mobile Rams in their brief history. This one's hit in shallow left center field. On comes Vandersip. It'll drop down for a base hit. And so a flared single by Woodruff will get another leadoff runner aboard. Mobile leads the all-time series now 4-3. But GGC picking up their second win in 2 years versus his top 10 program. Now back to the top of the lineup. Scoring the bunt will be Infante. Lays a beautiful one down in front of McFadden. She'll pick it up with a bare hand. A scoop over at first by Janko. As Holly Janko makes a nice scoop after the bare-handed play by McFadden. As the sacrifice bunt is successful for out number one. That pushes Woodruff into scoring position with 2 outs. This will bring up now Allison Vincent. So Vincent digs in with an RBI opportunity. Takes that one upstairs for a ball. Vincent was the leadoff hitter, went 1 for 3. Had a walk in that 7th and scored a run in game one of our doubleheader. First pitch misses. Hogg, second one. Swung on, lifted to the left side, but foul. As Allison Sellers-Cook makes the catch on the third base side. Prominent player in her own right. Had the majority of her coaching career at Spring Hill College there in Mobile, Alabama, but in her third season at the helm of the Mobile Rams. Hogg spots up on the outside corner, just misses. It's now 2-1. Hogg delivers in. That one's fouled off to the left side again, off the netting. Count remains the same. Two balls, two strikes. Hogg working on Vincent. Off-speed pitch, poked again, foul down the left field side. Gracie Hogg now a 2.93 ERA on the season. 2-1 record and 2 saves on 27 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 28 hits, 14 runs, 9 of them earned, 5 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opponent's batting .259 versus the righty. 2-2, this one slapped and it'll be a fair ball. Gets past Anya Vandersip. 1 run will come in to score with Woodruff. Vincent will have an easy double down the left field line. It scores a run in the Rams. Lead now 2-1. And so the Rams now, after being held scoreless through 6 innings of work versus Alexa Good, have now struck for a pair of runs in the first 3 innings versus Gracie Hogg. And so with a runner at second, more free swinging at bats, this time for Lindsey Sanders. Clearly a different offensive approach for the Rams from game 1 to game 2. Very patient in game number 1. Here, much more aggressive, swinging early in the counts, putting the bat on the ball and making good things happen. Sanders delivers another one fouled off to the right side. That one's headed to the roof for the Grizzly Athletics Complex. No windows were harmed in the making of that foul ball. Sanders in a cleanup spot was 0 for 3. Pair of pop-ups, reached on a fielder's choice, and had the bases loaded walk in the 7th. 0-2, rise ball from Hogg. Misses the zone. It's now 1-2. Hogg likes what she sees from Pelaez and delivers. Swung on. This one's hitting the right. Rossetti giving it chase in shallow right. She'll make the catch, crossing the foul territory for out number 2. Tagging up over at second and getting to third will be Vincent. Nothing harms there for Gracie Hogg and the Grizzlies. There's 2 outs and a runner over at third. And this will bring up the new cleanup hitter and pitcher, Emily Butts. First pitch misses low and away to Butts. Count 1-0. We had a number of pitcher-on-pitcher action in game number 1. Alexa Good with a pair of at-bats for the Grizzlies, who is pitching and hitting. And now, later on in game number 1, Butts drives this one to right center field. Bear on her horse. She can't get to it just beyond her range. Her and Rossetti collide with each other. And so they'll trade spots with 2 outs. A bang double for Emily Butts. Second time she had faced Gracie Hogg in back-to-back games, and now Butts gets the better of her. With a pair of RBI doubles in this inning. That's now a 3-1 advantage for the Rams. So Hogg trying to settle in here to the third. And it's the Rams that'll roughed her up. And this will bring up Courtney Elzey. Hogg delivers in. That one's hit foul toward Coach Cook. And again, she makes a nice play. She didn't even need a glove. All hands. Courtney Elzey. The hitter 2 for 3 with a walk, pair of singles, and an RBI from game number 1. Taking that with her here in game number 2. Oh, 2. Misses upstairs, making 1-2. Ball getting ahead. Can she stay ahead? Swung on, ground ball over to McFadden. She'll glove it cleanly. Toss it across the diamond and retire Elsie for out number 3. But not before the Rams put together some offense here. 2 runs go up in the frame thanks to a pair of RBI doubles, one by Vincent, the other by Butts. And Mobile has a early 3-1 lead over Georgia Gwinnett. We hit it home half of the third here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia, as GGC trying to spark a comeback here. Bottom of the third, we find ourselves down a couple of runs, and we'll be at the top of the lineup here with Rossetti, Bear, and Wagner due up here in the third. Glad to have everybody aboard here live on the Grizzly Digital Network. Wrapping up just your casual 12 games in 3 days for GGC Athletics. Broadcasting all of them live back to our website. And our wonderful 100% student-run production. Edwin and Janita hanging in there strong throughout the weekend. Rossetti digs in, takes one for a ball, another one for a strike. It's even a 1-1. Raekwon Rossetti, 0 for 3 in game number 1. Struck out, lined out, and grounded out. And that defense, you can see, just smothering home plate there as Rossetti takes that one for a strike and 1-1. Normally your third baseman isn't that tight, and your shortstop is about 2 or 3 steps, maybe even with the bag at third. There is 4 players within 25 feet of each other, and then all of them within 50 feet of home plate. So they're taking away the bunt, they're trying to take away the slap, and they're really just trying to fill all the holes that she could possibly have on the left and right side of the infield. And so they're trying to make these slappers adjust to what would be maybe even a plan C or D offensively. Let's try to elevate it over the infield. That's something the slappers aren't really comfortable with doing. Rossetti does indeed elevate that one to left, and Woodruff is there for out number 1. So there's one gone in a third, and they'll do it again for Kendall Bear.
Kendall Bear.
And we mentioned the lefties for GGC, the slappers. Rossetti, Bear, and Janko were combined 1 for 8 in game number 1. Misses low in the dirt. Bear not chasing it, 0-1. Again, one more peek at this defense. You tell me where you're supposed to hit it. Maybe up the middle, but we've seen Butts Glover position pretty well already. 1-0. Butts delivers up and in. That one breaks in for a strike. Bear wasn't ready for that. It's 1-1. Kendall Bear 0 for 3. Ground out, strikeout, and lined out. Almost the same exact line as Rossetti. 0-1. Tapper, left side. That'll trickle foul into the glove of Cole. And again, both Rossetti and Bear hit it hard in game number 1, where one was a line drive into Adams' glove at third. The other one was a line drive into Elsley at short. And then both of them did the opposite in the ground out. So they're putting the ball in play. They're hitting it hard. It's just like there's no holes in the defense. There's no gaps in the infield to use your speed with. 1-2. Misses low and away. It's even at 2-2. Flies ball, misses up and in. Count 3-2. Butts delivers in. Swung on. This one's looped over the shortstop's head. A good piece of hitting there by Kendall Bear, who will put it in the shallow left center field. And the Grizzlies have a runner aboard with one out. That's a good piece of hitting there by the Grizzlies center fielder.
Now batting the shortstop, Ivor Lacker.
So the infield returns back to its normal depth with Bear the speedster over at first. Wagner digs in, takes the first pitch for a drop ball, 1-0. Wagner 0 for 3. Struck out looking, grounded out to short, reached on an error into sixth, and that started the rally for Georgia Gwinnett. What was the difference in the game? A 3-run home run by Leah McFadden 2 batters later. These two teams met a year ago in the regular season finale in what was also an NAI top 10 matchup as they split the doubleheader. Bears on the move. Wagner's off and swinging into the glove of the diving third baseman. Throws across the horn, and a wonderful play there by Cole. Might have saved a run for the Rams. That's out number 2. Bear does get the second. And so with 2 gone, a runner in scoring position. This will bring up the catcher in Cindy Pelaez. Pelaez takes the first pitch low for a ball, 1-0. Pelaez 1 for 2 in game number 1. Did the most damage with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored. She hustled in from second on a double by Wilhite, and then she trotted around the base path from first on a 3-run homer by Leah McFadden, her first of the season. Pelaez from the left. Butts from the right. 2-0. Pelaez takes one out, right down the tube there, 2-1. Pelaez delivers that one, a chopper over to the first baseman. As Infante can't handle it, second baseman recovers, tosses it over to Infante, and retires Pelaez for out number 3. It was almost a gift for Georgia Gwinnett in the 2-out error, but Sanders recovers, and the Rams get out of the inning unscathed. Grizzlies trail by 2 as we head to the 4th. 3-1's your score here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. As 3 innings are in the books, it's Mobile leading 3-1. They scored 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors defensively. Georgia Gwinnett 1 run in the first on a total of 2 hits, no errors behind Gracie Hogg, who has struck out 1 and walked none. And her counterpart, Emily Butts, has walked 2 and struck out 1. So we go to the top of the fourth inning. You're all caught up. And this will bring up the 6, 7, and 8 spots in the lineup here as a line drive over to Holly Janko. She'll make the catch and retire Taylor LeDrew for round number 1. So LeDrew is retired. And this will bring up the 7 spot in the lineup there in Emily Montgomery. She's trying to drop down a bunt. Will do it. It's a hard one at Hogg. She'll shovel it over to first and just barely getting their speedster in Montgomery for out number 2. So a couple of pitches here and 2 quick outs for Gracie Hogg. A line drive to second and a comebacker to her. Has 2 gone to the Rams here in the 4th. Now this will bring up the 8 spot and Destiny Cole, the third baseman. Off-speed pitch, misses low, 1-0. Swing and a miss on a changeup over top of the swing. Count now 1-1. Destiny Cole, of all the changes in this Mobile lineup, she is the one that did not play at all in game number 1. That one comes in and it'll hit Cole. And Gracie Hogg was getting ready to start one of her infamous stretches of retiring a number of batters in a row. But instead, she'll give up a hit by pitch, her first of the night. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, misses for a ball. Now a 1-0 count to the left-handed hitting left fielder, Savannah Woodruff. Now we get pitching coach Tanya Metters wants to come out and talk things over with Hogg. So after the meeting from Coach Metters, it'll be a pitch on the outside part that misses for a ball, 2-0. Savannah Woodruff digs in here, slaps this one up to the left side. Widener going back, Bear coming in. Vandersip calls her off at the very last moment, and she'll make the catch in left field for out number 3. So Hogg makes it a quick 1-2-3 hit by pitch, or I should say 1-2 hit by pitch 3 inning. As 2 times to the lineup for the Rams. They have a 3-1 lead. We go to home half of the 4th here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
See the complete picture with Farmers Insurance. Armina Yakupovich, a GGC graduate. Auto, home, and more. Get the coverage you want from us. We've seen a thing or two. Find out more about our services by calling 470-709-2791 today. The George Gwinnett softball team is back here on March the 4th against Tennessee Wesleyan. First pitch is set for 4 o'clock. Be sure to see the team's full-time schedule by visiting ggcathletics.com. We advise you to be alert at all times to the today as balls, bats, or other objects may occasionally make their way out of the field of play. We also ask that you return all foul balls to game staff. Check out the Grizzly Digital Network for behind-the-scenes coverage of GGC Athletics. It's also the home of broadcasts of home events with voice of the Grizzlies, Matt Mahoney. Check out the Grizzly Digital Network today. Leading off for the Grizzlies,
The third baseman, number 11, Leah McFadden.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. Bottom of the fourth inning we go. It's the Rams with an upper hand and a 3-1 advantage over Georgia Gwinnett. And the Grizzlies have the hot bat of Leah McFadden come to the plate. McFadden hit a 3-run homer in game number 1, her first of the season, and makes it her 4th base hit of the weekend. First pitch swinging here, chopper over to the shortstop. Nelsley over across the diamond to a stretched out Infante, and McFadden will be retired for round number 1. And so McFadden, who was swinging a great bat throughout this weekend, still is. Might need a big at bat coming for her later up. And so now she'll pass the torch on to Sydney Wilhite. Wilhite takes the first pitch low for a ball, 1-0. Emily Butts digs in. Wilhite literally hits Butts on the ankle. It ricochets over to Sanders. She'll scoop it over to first, and for the second time in 2 innings, Sanders is there to back up what would be a base runner for Georgia Gwinnett and turns it into an out. Wilhite can't hit it any harder. And it'll be out number 2. Unfortunate break there for Georgia Gwinnett. And so with 2 outs and no one on, this will bring up the left fielder, Anya Vandersip. And so GGC, a team 289 batting average, averaging 4.5 runs per contest. They were right on that in game number 1 and pulled out a 4-3 victory. And here, being held to just 2 hits through 3 and 2 innings of work. Vandersip trying to change that. That one misses low and away for a ball. Vandersip gets ahead 2-0. Vandersip 0 for 3, hit the ball hard twice in game number 1, all 3 groundouts. Turned on, fisted foul to the left side. Now Vandersip, not a bad cut, and a hitter's count. We'll get another one at 2-1. 2-1. But delivers in. Vandersip smacks this one up the middle. It'll find the outfield grass for a base knock. So Vandersip in her senior season out of San Diego, California, trying to stake her claim to be that everyday left fielder for Kat Eilenberg. And so with Vandersip over at first and 2 outs, this will bring up the freshman Laura Ullman. So every now and then Laura Ullman will lean into one and smack one to the gap. Would love to see that happen here with 2 outs in the 4th. Try to cut this deficit in half. Ullman takes the first pitch right down the pipe for a strike, 0-1. The reliever out of the pen. She was warmed up and ready to go in the 6th, but never asked for her services. She'll put down the glove and grab a bat and a helmet here in game 2. Misses off the plate. Things are even at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Ullman swing and a miss there. Goes over top of that drop ball. It's in a hole now, 1-2. Vandersip, good speed over at first, so if you do get something into the gap, she'll have a chance to score. If it gets to the wall, she'll undoubtedly score. 1-2. Ullman, tap her right back to the pitcher. Butts will grab it and toss it over to first for out number 3. That'll do it for the Grizzlies. 2-out base knock is left for naught. And it's a 3-1 advantage for Mobile. We headed to 5th here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
At Jets Pizza, Bean Square is delicious. Visit them after the game at 2695 Sugarloaf Parkway right here in Lawrenceville. You can also order online at jetspizza.com. Jets Pizza Lawrenceville, better because it has to be. The number 5 ranked Georgia Gwinnett baseball team will be hosting Reinhardt on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Then they'll play a doubleheader against Northwestern Ohio on Saturday. Be sure to see the team's forthcoming schedule by visiting GGCathletics.com.
We return to the top of the fifth here. Rams leading 3-1. And due up for the Rams with the lead in the top half of the inning. Will be the top of the lineup. Fonte, Vincent, and Sanders. As Gracie Hogg returns to the center circle. First pitch swung on. Chopper over to Wagner. She'll wait for it. This may cause trouble. Rocket across that diamond, but it'll get in Fonte in plenty of time. For out number one, Piper Wagner showing off the hose there. And she gets it done both underhand inside the center circle and overhand across that diamond pretty well. And that's why that's just a quick peek into what happened last year in 2019 is some of us, including myself, scratching our head. Piper Wagner in the left field, but she is quite the athlete, and we needed her on the field and her bat in the lineup in order to go to the World Series. And that's exactly what the Grizzlies did. And the coaching staff gets a lot of credit for that as Allison Vincent swings at the first pitch and loops it into left for out number two. So 2 quick outs here for Gracie Hogg in the fifth. This will bring up Lindsey Sanders. First pitch swinging here. Blasts this one fouled on the left field line. Count 0-1. And both these teams, World Series participants from 2019. Some would argue is the best season in program history for both the Rams and the Grizzlies, as both coaches graduated one of the most historic classes in program history. 6 seniors for both of them, as both teams included 2 everyday starters and all-conference players, as well as All-Americans. For the Grizzlies, it was inside the center circle in Taylor Hansis, Alyssa Melton, Tori Robinson, Crystal Busby, Aubrey Cox. And for the Rams, it was Erica Greek, the All-American, Maddie Burchell, some would argue their best hitter, their everyday player, Emily Fleetwood, along with Ashley Strayberry and Shelby Alcorn, providing some depth to that team. And that is a lot of talent for both these coaches to replace in a short amount of time. 1-2, but make no mistake about it. Kat Eilenberg in her 8th season and Allison Sellers-Cook in her 3rd. Both coaches have aspirations to get their program back to the World Series in 2020. And here's the good news, folks. Whether you sweep this doubleheader or get swept or you split, and you rest your head on your pillow tonight knowing the World Series is not won or lost in February. A long way to go for both these teams in their growth and their development to get back to the World Series, which this year, it's right down the road in Columbus, Georgia. Payoff pitch here, 3-2. Swung on, come back at her Hog. She'll toss it over to Wilhite. And it'll be a 1-2-3 frame for the Grizzly defense and their starter, Gracie Hogg, who gets to a clean 5th. We go to the home half. Grizzlies trying to muster up some offense to catch back up into this contest, down 3-1 here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Grizzly fans, our proud corporate sponsors invest their hard-earned resources in the Georgia Gwinnett College student-athlete experience. Without their support, we would not be able to compete as we do on the diamonds, courts, and fields. We ask that you consider supporting our sponsors the way they support this athletics program. To see a full listing of our corporate partners, visit ggcathletics.com. Plus, check out the visitor's guide under the fan zone link for full menu and contact information. We thank you for considering to support those who support the Grizzlies.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. Bottom of the fifth inning here. Grizzlies need some offense to try to climb back into this contest. We'll try to do it with Holly Janko, who will lead things off here in the fifth. Three straight lefties due up: Janko, Rossetti, and Bear, and we'll see that smothering defense of the Mobile Rams. As Emily Butts back inside the center circle. First pitch swinging by Janko. It hits Butts, rolls to the second baseman and Sanders, and Grizzly fans say not again. And indeed, history does not repeat itself, and so the slam single that hits Butts will get Janko on the base path, and the Grizzlies have a leadoff runner aboard. So now here comes Rossetti. On the top of the lineup, 2 times the lineup for the Grizzlies, 1 run on now, 4 hits, no errors by the Rams defense, as Emily Butts has walked 2 and struck out 1. Swears the bunt, puts it one beautifully right in front of the left-hander batter's box, but it just trickles foul. And a beautiful effort there by Rossetti, and she'll be rudely greeted by a 0-1 count. So Rossetti from the left. Janko over at first. Rossetti tries the bunt, puts it down, and again, just trickling foul on the third base side. And the defense is having to change things up a little bit with a runner at first. It's the second baseman and Sanders that's playing back closest to the bag. She'll have the responsibility. If Janko takes off and steals, left side stays the same. Rossetti puts it in play. Janko's on the move. Quick pick by the shortstop. And Azell will retire Rossetti for out number 1. Just as good as a sacrifice bunt. And pushes Janko into scoring position. As a quick line here on Emily Butts, she had one previous appearance. It was a relief appearance. 3 innings pitched. Gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. No walks, no strikeouts. And that Division II doubleheader. Meanwhile, we got a little administrative change here. The officials have called Rossetti out of the box. So wipe away the advancement for Holly Janko. She goes back to first with 1 out. However, Janko takes off running. She'll steal second on the first pitch into Kendall Bear. So now you're caught up. Janko steals second. There's 1 out. Rossetti's called out of the box. And Kendall Bear's your hitter. Bear digs into the left side. Freshman playing center fielder, growing up right in front of your eyes. First pitch swung on, line shot into the shortstop glove. We got another foot race back to the bag at second, and Janko wins it again. For the second time in 2 games, a line shot and a diving effort by the shortstop, and Azell, who flips it to the second baseman, and Janko wins the foot race back to the bag at second. How much more unlucky can you get if you're Kendall Bear? She's hit the ball hard 4 times today and doesn't have a whole lot to show for it other than 1 hit. And this brings up Piper Wagner. The tying run comes to the plate. Wagner's got long ball potential, and certainly the Rams are aware of that. Piper hit a home run over the left field wall in 40-mile-an-hour winds yesterday. Piper Wagner hit a home run in 40-mile-an-hour winds last year in Game 2 for the Grizzlies as they beat the Rams 2-0 in that regular season finale. So again, Janko in scoring position represents a valuable run up there in a 1-1 count. Wagner just a hair late on that one, fouls that one off to the right side. And now 1-2. Wagner on the season, a .321 hitter. He's got 1 double, 6 RBIs, and 5 runs scored in 9 games played. Now he's got a fight here, 1-2. Even a cheap run here will certainly bode well for the Grizzlies in the comeback. 1-2. That one rolls up to the plate there. Janko's going to try to take third, and she's under the tag. Holly Janko did a great job of reading the super changeup that landed in the dirt. So back-to-back stolen bases for Janko. It's a little bit of a risk with 2 outs, but hey, it works. So that's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Infield hit would score a run. Big infield all the way around for the Rams, trying to Keep Wagner off the base path. Deuce's Wild Trains are coming. Now misses off the plate. Now it's full at 3-2. Bang bang play over there at first. The throw definitely beat Janko, but she was able to get underneath that tag. Payoff pitch. Wagner shoots this one to right. False step for Vincent. It's over top of her head, and Janko will score. Wagner's on her horse, and she'll cruise on up into second base. It's a clutch 2-out stand-up RBI double for Piper Wagner. Wagner's second double of the season, RBI number 7, and it's a big run here for George Gwinnett in the 5th as they cut the deficit to 1. As the Grizzlies trade places here with Janko and Wagner, and a chance to do it again with Sydney Pelaez, who's got a couple of doubles in her bat already this season. First pitch in from Butts. Misses upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Butts winds and fires. Pelaez takes that one low and away for a ball. It's now 2-0. Double barrel action in the Rams bullpen, including Hope Kane, who unfortunately got the loss in game number 1. Wasn't anything shy of what she did other than give up the 3-run homer by Leah McFadden. She was fantastic in game number 1. 2-0. Good eye by Pelaez. Misses away. As Pelaez on the season. A 300 hitter. Double and a home run. One of them was earlier today. Takes that 3-0 pitch for a strike right down the tube, 3-1. Pelaez right that RBI double off of Butts back in the first. Would love to see another one here. What do you say, Sid P? Got a hitter's count. Action pitch on the way. Butts delivers. Sid P goes with it down the left field line. Drifting will be the left fielder. In foul territory, Woodruff makes the catch and retires the Grizzlies' threat for out number 3. But not before Piper Wagner gets a clutch RBI double and gets the Grizzlies back within a run. We head to the 6th here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
The Gwinnett Sports Commission fosters economic development through coordinating and developing Gwinnett's role as a leading site for sports events involving youth, collegiate, amateur, and professional organizations. To find out more about everything it does for our hometown teams, visit GwinnettSportsCommission.com. Leading off for the Rams, the pitcher, number 24.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. As we get set for the 6th, Grizzlies get a run back and trail 3-2. Both these teams with 5 hits in total in this contest. Gracie Hogg, the starter, trying to get through this lineup the 3rd time. She'll face Emily Butts for the 4th as Butts hit the sacrifice fly off her in the 7th inning of game number 1. Butts a pretty good hitter. And she cashed in her pinch hit at bat in Gulf Shores, Alabama earlier this month with a base hit. As this one's hit into left, on comes Anya Vandersip, and she'll make the diving catch in left field for out number 1. Nice job by the Grizzlies senior. Sparking a web gem there for the Grizzlies. And now Gracie Hogg on a little bit of a roll. Has now retired 5 in a row. First pitch into Courtney Elsley, the shortstop. Misses for a ball, 1-0. Second pitch misses upstairs for a ball, make it 2-0. Nelsley, 3 for 6 coming into today's doubleheader. So Hogg gets on the board there at 2-1. This one sliced foul to the right side. Got even now at 2-2. Hogg versus Elsie. She was a nemesis in game number 1 against the Grizzlies. Did not face Hogg, but the RBI single by Elsie knocked out Alexa Good and got us to Hogg. Elsie hits this one to the center. Kendall Bear giving a chase. Will get underneath it and squeeze it for out number 2. So this is what we've started to see out of Gracie Hogg. She goes on these rolls of retiring 7, 8, 9, and even as many as 13 batters in a row dating back to yesterday's contest versus Bryan. And here today versus the 7th-ranked Rams. Hogg's got another one going with now 7 in a row. First pitch swinging here. This one's aired out into center field. Bear has it. We'll bring it with her, too, as well. Make that now, 7 in a row retired by Gracie Hogg with a back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. That momentum starting to shift toward the Grizzly dugout. Can they get some more runs? We headed to 6 to find out here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
The 6-time defending national champion Georgia Gwinnett College men's tennis team will be playing Florida National tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Be sure to see the team's upcoming schedule by visiting ggcathletics.com. Leading off for the Grizzlies, the third baseman, number 11, Leah McFadden.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. Grizzlies find themselves down a run here in the bottom of the 6th. 3-2's your score. Georgia Gwinnett came away with a 1-run victory in game number 1 and looking at trying to pull off another big win here. First pitch swinging by Leah McFadden over to the shortstop in Elsley, and that's where ground balls go to die into the glove of the Rams shortstop. McFadden, 3 quick at-bats here. I don't know that she's seen 6 pitches today in 3 at-bats. Pair of groundouts, a trio of groundouts from the Grizzly third baseman. So 1 out here in the 6th. This brings up Sid Wilhite. Wilhite takes the first pitch for a strike 0-1. Cindy Wilhite off to a rough start in her senior season. Just 5 hits and 23 at-bats. Smacks this one to right center field. On her horse is Montgomery, turning and running, and that'll be into the glove of the right fielder and Vincent as it falls out. So Wilhite holds up at second. Don't know that she would be able to get to third, but it's a rocket into right. And Vincent got a glove on it, but she tripped over Montgomery, and the ball came loose. And so Wilhite standing on second with 1 out and represents the tying run for Georgia Gwinnett. And so Kat Eilenberg will go to the lineup card here and pull Josie Hawk up out of the dugout to run for Wilhite up at second base.
Running at second base, number 3, Josie Hawk, and batting for the Grizzlies, Anya Vanderson.
And so Hawks up at second, and Anya Vandersip's at the plate. The senior out of San Diego, California, has an opportunity here and tie this ball game up into 6. Butts delivers in. Vandersip offers at it to bunt. With third base now vacant, Hawk thought about taking it over there. And so a lot going on here in the 6th. As Hawk stays put at second, Vandersip in an 0-1 count. Butts delivers in, misses low and away. Vandersip on the season was 0 for 7 coming into today's doubleheader, but she's hit the ball hard versus the 7th-ranked Rams. Butts delivers in, 1-1. Swung on. This is a base hit up the middle. Hawk gets the green light from Eilenberg around third. Here comes a throw to the plate. Hawk will be safe. Throw down to second base, and Vandersip's tagged out for out number 2. So Anya Vandersip delivers for the Grizzlies a clutch RBI single that scores Hawk, and we're tied up at 3. Vandersip hesitated just for a moment between first and second. Once she saw the ball go through to the plate, she decided to try to take the bag, and it was a good relay by LeDrew back behind the plate. And so this will bring up Laura Ullman. First pitch swinging here over to the third baseman. It's a swinging bunt, and Ullman beats it out. And so with 2 outs in the inning, Grizzlies have the go-ahead run over at first base. And we pass the bat now to Holly Janko. Infield hit for Ullman. And so Janko trying to give the Grizzlies the lead here. Swung on, hit hard into the glove of the shortstop in LG. She has fielded absolutely everything today for the Rams inside that infield clay. And so that'll end the threat for Georgia Gwinnett. However, a couple of big at-bats, a double by Wilhite. Hawk scores as the pinch runner as Anya Vandersip delivers a big-time RBI. And the Grizzlies have tied things up. We head to the 7th here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia, as GGC find themselves in a brand new ball game, tied at 3. We've played 6 innings. Mobile 2 runs in the first. Excuse me. Let me back up here. Mobile 1 run in the second, 2 runs in the third. That's 3 runs on 5 hits. No errors defensively behind their starter, and Emily Butts, who has walked 2 and struck out 1. Meanwhile, for GGC, 1 run in the first, 1 run in the fifth, 1 run in the sixth. That's 3 runs for the Grizzlies on 8 hits. And no errors behind Gracie Hogg, who has struck out 1 and walked none, but hit 1 batter with a pitch. And so you're all caught up now as we head to the 7th. Due up for the Rams. Bottom of the lineup here as Amberly Montgomery digs in. Working to count 1-1. 7, 8, 9. Montgomery, Cole, and Woodruff scheduled to make appearances for the Rams. Oh, look at a 1-1 count. Delivers in. This one's a line shot into center field. So that'll break up the 7-batter-in-a-row retirement streak. by Gracie Hogg, and the Rams look to make an adjustment the third time to the lineup here. But they're at the bottom of the lineup, and again, these are the parts of the lineup that saw Hogg to end game number 7, or end game number 1 in the 7th. Excuse me. You know, you kind of grind those gears going into 5th gear. I forgot to push the clutch in. That's what that noise was. Gracie Hogg now delivers in, squaring the bunt, offering at it, but pulling it back, I should say, is Cole. Count 1-0. Hogg from the right. Cole from the right. Hogg delivers in. Another bunt attempt. This one's popped up, and Pelaez will make the catch. Pelaez makes a great catch back behind home plate, robbing the Rams of a bunt attempt. And that'll be out number 1. Montgomery stays put at first. So a great play by the Grizzlies defensively here, flashing the leather from Sidney Wilhite to Anya Vandersip, and now Sidney Pelaez. It's becoming contagious here at the Grizzlies softball complex. Now 1 out and a runner over at first. This brings us the 9-hole hitter, Savannah Woodruff. First pitch swinging here, back toward Wagner. She'll retreat to the outfield grasses. Vandersip takes charge and makes the catch for out number 2. Vandersip, a scrappy performance in today's doubleheader. We'll bring up 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Go-ahead run for the Rams, hangs out over at first in Montgomery. And now this is back to the top of the lineup for the 4th time. And Ela Infante, powerful left-handed hitter, takes the first one. Sid P throws down to second, and stolen base will be successful in a collision between the runner in Montgomery and Janko. First stolen base of the day for Mobile. Infante is 0 for 2 with a sac bunt here in this contest. Got that nice lefty open stance, trying to bring home the Rams. Hall goes away and misses 2-0. Fonte in total in the doubleheader today is 2 for 5 with a sac bunt and a walk. Chance to take the lead with a go-ahead run in scoring position. Swing and a miss there. Hogg challenges with the outside heat. And then Fonte swings right through it, 2-1. Still got a hitter's count here. Got to be cautious here if you're Hogg. First base is open with 2 outs, and Vincent sits on deck. Not nearly the same amount of power. 2-1. This one's hit well in the left. Vandersip going back, still going back. It'll drop in for a base hit in a very far corner. Run comes in to score, and placed absolutely beautifully down the left field line will be Ela Infante. A clutch 2-out RBI double just placed over top of Vandersip's head. There's not too many outfielders, period, that can make that catch. And strong pizza hitting for the leadoff left-hander and Ela Infante. So the Rams retake a 4-3 lead. And this brings up Allison Vincent. She'll take the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Hogg winds and fires. That one hits for a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Vincent, 2 for 3 in this contest versus Hogg. Single, double, RBI, run scored. Filling it up. 1-1. Off-speed pitch tapped toward McFadden. She's going to glove it, rifled across the diamond, and retire the Rams for out number 3. So that'll do it for Mobile. They rally for an answer in the top of the 7th. Score run and take a 4-3 lead. And now it's Mobile, 3 outs away from a doubleheader split in this NAI Top 10 matchup. We'll see if the Grizzlies can spark a run on the other side here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Leading off for the Grizzlies is the right fielder, 00, Raquel Rossetti.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. Bottom of the 7th we go. Grizzlies down a run here, 4-3. We had the identical score, but the runs were flip-flopped. GGC was leading into the 7th and game number 1, and here we are trailing into the 7th in game number 2, down to our last star bat. Good news, top of the lineup here, Rossetti, Bear, and Wagner. As Rossetti takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Rossetti 0 for 3 in this second contest. But her and Bear both hitting the ball hard in this top of the lineup. 1-0. That one comes in on Rossetti, just jumps out of the way of it. Count 2-0. Emily Butts looking for the complete game victory here for the Mobile Rams on her second performance of the season in her Ram career. 2-0. That one hits for a strike, make it 2-1. Key to the comeback for Georgia Gwinnett. Got to get that lead off runner aboard. It certainly wouldn't hurt if it's Rossetti with the speed, or even if Rossetti's retired, you're going to need to get Bear on the base path. Put some pressure on the defense. 2 balls, 1 strike. That one's tapped right in front of home plate here, but it's twisting foul. Rossetti tried to plant 2 bunts right in front of that right-hander batter's box in her last at-bat, but it just kept spinning foul. That was almost a repeat of it, but that was a swing. Rossetti was actually called out of the box in her last at-bat. Stayed in the box that time, and now it's 2-2. Butts delivers. Rossetti comes right back up the middle, and Azell bobbles it. The first time today that Azell doesn't field something cleanly, and it could cost the Rams. Azell had been perfect all day long, but she bobbles that one, and the Grizzlies have the tying run aboard over at first with no outs. Kendall Bear, the freshman, digs in. We've talked about how much she has grown up in front of our eyes. We're about to find out how much faith Coach Eilenberg has. She will square the bunt, and she'll drop that one down again, right in front of that right-handed batter's box, but he just keeps twisting foul. This is the right call from any analytical measure. Put the tying run in scoring position with your 2-hole hitter. It would have been quite the confidence if Eilenberg had let Bear, the freshman, just swing away in this opportunity. 0-1, bunting again. Dropping this one right in front of home plate. That's a beauty. She bobbles it, throws it to first, and throws it away. The right fielder's going to back things up. Rossetti will take third, and the Grizzlies are going to take advantage of a couple of miscues for Mobile in the 7th. Bear gets credit for a hit, but the error will send Rossetti over to third, and Mobile coming a little unraveled here in the 7th. Finally, it's someone other than us. And so in this NAI top 10 matchup, the Grizzlies have the tying run 60 feet away. The winning walk-off run is over at first base. And stepping to the plate will be Piper Wagner, a 3-hole hitter and our shortstop. We saw in the second inning of game number 1, when things started to get away from Alexa Good, Piper took it upon herself, talked things over with Alexa, just calm her down a little bit, and be that spiritual leader for this team. That when Piper goes, so does the Grizzlies. And that message may not be delivered more so than right now. So Wagner digs in with no outs versus Emily Butts. Wagner will see pitches to hit as Butts delivers. Swung on, Piper fists one over to Azell. She's going to come to the plate, and Rossetti's out. Kat Eilenberg wants interference, and she's going to talk things over with a home plate umpire. And here's the thing. Previous to last year, there's not any hesitation or argument from any coach in America about that being interference. But before the 2019 season, the NFCA and the umpires started making an emphasis on the interference call, and catchers can no longer block the path of a runner. It has to be unimpeded to the plate. And so the question Eilenberg is asking, did Rossetti have a clear path to slide into the plate? Again, 2 years ago, I don't think there's any question about it. But new rules, or should I say new emphasis on rules, or new emphasis on rules. So Wagner reaches on the fielder's choice. There's one out in the inning for Sydney Pelaez. Not all is lost just yet. As Bear ends up at second, Wagner's over at first. The tying run's in scoring position for the sophomore Sydney Pelaez. Pelaez 1 for 3 versus Emily Butts. RBI double back in the first. Swings at this one, pulls it foul on the first base side. Pelaez with enough pop this weekend, a home run, a double. I'm not asking for either one, just asking for a base hit here. Beggars can't be choosers. 1-1. Pelaez takes a look at that one, misses upstairs for a ball. 2-1. We got a pair of close ones here in today's doubleheader of this NAI Top 10 Showdown, and we wouldn't expect any other way. The Rams left the tying run on the base path in the seventh. The Grizzlies trying to avoid that too as well. Pelaez puts a charge into this one in the left center field. Long way to go for Montgomery. She's still going. It drops down for a base hit. Bear stays at second. She's going to get on her horse. Here comes the relay. It's not going to happen. Grizzlies tie the ball game up on the longest single of Sydney Pelaez's career as Piper Wagner's only able to get up into second base. It hung up in the air forever. Bear didn't know what to do. Finally, when it hit, she had to hurry up. And it's just an RBI single for Sydney Pelaez as Wagner tagged up from first as well. So Wagner's up at second. Pelaez is over at first, and that represents the game winner in scoring position for Leah McFadden. She's been early action in game 2 with the bat. Takes that one for a ball, 1-0. McFadden was our hero in game number 1 with a 3-run homer, her first of the season in the 6th. Grizzlies would hold on 4-3 in the 7th for the victory. What do you say? Take 2, McFadden. Turns on this one and pulls it foul. It's even 1-1. McFadden, a sophomore to Marietta, Georgia. Going to be the everyday third baseman in 2020 for the Grizzlies after backing up Holly Janko at second base in 2019. 1-1. Butts delivers. McFadden looks at that one low and gets a hitter's count 2-1. Outfield is straight up. Maybe they squeeze on the corners just a little bit. Tons of space in the gap as we just saw Montgomery not able to haul that last ball in. 2-1. Ball 3 misses away. Sydney Wilhite awaits on deck with a double in her back pocket from earlier today versus Butts. Wagner, game winner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-1, never had a chance. McFadden will drop the bat and trot on down to first. Let's set the stage for you here. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, we're tied at 4. The Grizzlies got out to battled back to a 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 6th. They gave up a run in the top of the 7th, and now here we are in the bottom of the 7th, tied at 4. Wagner's the game winner, 60 feet away with 1 out. Sydney Wilhite, the senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. First pitch, misses upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Infield drawn in here for the Rams. Everybody about even with the base path, looking for the force out at the plate. Anything other than that is glory. Wilhite, ground ball to the third baseman, and somehow it squeezes foul between Wagner and the bag at third. That is about the worst place to hit it, because if the third baseman in Cole fields it cleanly, she could tag Wagner out about as easy as you can. Instead, we get a 1-1 count. 1 out. There's only 1 out. Wilhite to do a job. Fly ball, right field, foul territory that'll drift out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anything to the outfield grass. A base hit, a ground ball, fly ball. Wagner would undoubtedly get the green light from Eilenberg at third. Pelaez doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot at second, and neither does McFadden over at first. 1 for 3 versus Butts with that double in the 6th. Wilhite hits this one hard up the middle. Azel's going to glove it, throws it to plate. They get the force out, and the inning stays and the game stays alive. The Rams are ready for the ground ball. And so Wilhite couldn't get it past Azell, who started this inning with an error. She rebounds there for out number 2. Bases still loaded with 2 outs. And this brings up Anya Vandersip. Anya Vandersip's been a scrappy out for the Grizzlies here in this doubleheader. Has had a couple of web gems and even an RBI single that scored Hawk in the 6th. A chance to be the hero in the 7th. First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. It's now Pelaya's over at third, and she's running on everything on contact. Vandersip, a chance to be the hero. Swung on, chopper up the middle. Fielded by Azell. She'll stomp on the bag at second. We're headed to extras. Grizzlies rally for a run in the 7th. They show some grit in this NAI Top 10 showdown. We're headed to extra innings. International tiebreaker on the other side of this here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down.
I got that real good, feel good stuff up under the seat of my big black jacked up truck. Rolling on 35s, pretty girl by my side. You got that suntan skirt and boots, waiting on you to look my way and scoot your little hot self over here. Girl, hand me another beer, yeah. All them other boys wanna wind you up and take you downtown, but you look like the kind that likes to take it way down. Out where the cornrows roll my boat, floating down the Flint River. Catch us up a little catfish dinner. Gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down and love you right. Yeah, that's my kind of night. Might sit down on my diamond plate tailgate. Put in my...
Putting the international tiebreak here in the top.
Dale stealing my thunder again here. We're going to play with the international tiebreaker here in the top of the 8th inning. So a runner at second base should be Allison Vincent. They're going to pinch run for her. It'll be number 28, Jaden Morris. We saw her in game number 1 run for the Rams. And now here we are in the 8th. Back to Gracie Hogg. First pitch swinging here. Slams this one fouled on the third base side. First pitch hits is a strike on 1. A 1 count here to Lindsey Saunders, the second baseman. She's going to square the bunt, drops that one foul. Count now 0-2. A couple of foul balls here. Hogg gets ahead of Lindsey Sanders. Sanders, the second baseman, is 0 for 3 versus Hogg in this contest. 0-2. Hogg delivers in. Swing and a miss. Gracie Hogg will get a strikeout. And a much-needed one here in the 8th as Maurice stays put at second base and a big out for Hogg. It's only her second strikeout of the outing. And that'll keep the runner at second, and so failed to execute does Sanders, and this will bring up the pitcher, Emily Butts. She's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Change up there, looped foul down the third base side. Butts takes the second pitch for a strike. It's now 0-2. Emily Butts in game 2. 1 for 3 with that RBI double that scored a run back in the third. Rise ball misses upstairs. Count out 1-2. Swing and a miss. On a 1-2 count, Gracie Hall goes right back after this Rams lineup. After one strikeout through 7 innings of work, she picks up 2 strikeouts here in extras. And so with 2 outs and a runner staying put at second, and Maurice, this will bring up the shortstop and Courtney Elsie. She's certainly wanting to make up for her lost error. From the bottom of the 7th. Has a chance to be a hero here in the top of the 8th. Elsie 0 for 3 with the bat versus Gracie Hogg. 1-1. That one's beautifully over the outside half, but must have just missed low. Pelias certainly liked it, as did the Grizzly dugout and most of the Grizzly fans in the stands. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hogg trying to make this a 1-2-3 inning in extras. Really keep that momentum on the Grizzly side. Swung on, tomahawk chop fouled on the third base side. It's even at 2-2. Two. Misses up and away, make it full at 3-2. Pelias likes the spot there. Well, the runner at second base, the international tiebreaker here in the 8th. Hall trying to toss up a 0. 3-2, swung on. Popped up, shallow center. On comes Kendall Barron. She'll make the catch. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Gracie Hogg and the Grizzlies defensively, as Maurice, the base runner, never left the bag at second. We head to the home half. Chance to win in a walk-off winner here next on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. We get set for the 8th inning here. Georgia went at no strangers to extra inning contests already this season. They've been in 2 of them. They've won 1 and lost 1 in this weekend extravaganza of the Grizzly Classic. And here we are in the bottom of the 8th. Leading things off will be Laura Ullman versus Emily Butts. A runner up at second base will be Anya Vandersip. Ullman offers that and misses. Count 0-1 with the international tiebreaker. Vandersip at second. Start things off with no outs. Ullman's your hitter. Ullman digs into the left side. 1 for 2 in this second game with a single, a walk. Ground out back to the pitcher. 0-1. She drops down the bunt toward the first baseman, and Fonte goes back over to second, and the sacrifice bunt is successful. Job well done by the Grizzly DP. And so just like that, it's as simple as that. There's one out, and this will pass the bat now to Holly Janko. Imagine we're going to see some intentional walks here. So Holly Janko digs in. Looks like they're going to throw to her. Butts. First pitch. Hits the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Grizzlies had the bases loaded in the seventh, but couldn't get a run out of it. They needed a RBI single by Sydney Pelias to tie it. Lots of ways to score here. 0-1. Janko delivers into center field. It'll be caught, and Vandersip wasn't tagging at third. She kind of reacted to the line drive, took a false step toward home, and then by the time Montgomery caught it in center, Vandersip was still moving back toward the bag at third. Janko's retired for out number 2. And we go back to the top of the lineup for the 5th time, and Raekwon Rossetti. So a little different element here, as the Rams will bring the infield in. The second baseman and Saunders hovers close to the center circle. On the left side, the shortstop and the third baseman come in tight, because the speed of Rossetti could win this game for Georgia Gwinnett. An infield hit would do the job. Vandersip will be on her toes, ready for everything. Rossetti takes that one low for a ball. 2-0. Rossetti 0 for 4 in game number 2. Two balls, no strikes. Takes a look at that one. First strike, 2-1. A chance for the senior out of Greenville, Georgia, to be the hero in the bottom of the 8th. Can you win in walk-off action? 2-1. Rossetti puts it in play. High chopper to the second baseman. Tossed over to first base. Now to retire the Grizzlies. So both offenses failed to execute in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Tied at 4 in this NAI Top 10 showdown here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Defensive change for the Grizzlies in left field, number 8, Ruth Jones. Top of the 9th, taking second base for the Rams is going to be this number 5, Courtney Elsey. Leading off, the catcher, double 0, Taylor LeDrew.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we head to the 9th inning. We're tied at 4 between the Grizzlies and the Rams. As Gracie Hogg back inside the center circle, and more international tiebreaker rule, and a bunt head down toward Leah McFadden. She lets it roll between her legs, thinking it was going to go foul, and it's now a base hit. So here we are in the 9th, international tiebreaker again, still in effect. So Courtney Elsey, the shortstop, was up at second. Now she's up at third as LeDrew reaches on the single. And there's runners on the corners and no outs now for Mobile. As Amber Lee Montgomery will dig in. She gets a quick idea from Allison Sellers-Cook. There's lots of options here in the top of the ninth. You could run the smoke and mirrors, trick play in first and third on the base path. You can bunt, you can swing, you can single, you can double. You can do a number of things here. And so Cook just making sure that her center fielder is on the same page as the rest of the team. Can't say enough about Gracie Hogg and a gutty performance, especially in that eighth. She'll deliver, and this is a tomahawk foul. And that continues to ring true for this Rams team. Free swinging their way through this contest. They got 4 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors defensively, which led to one of the runs for the Grizzlies in the 7th. Meanwhile, Georgia went at 4 runs on 10 hits, no errors defensively. Pelaez wants to talk things over with the defense. As Wilhide's talking things over with Janko now, and now Pelaez wants to talk things over with the rest of them, and Leah McFadden almost seems unwelcome to the party. I think that's more of like a first and third defense. Instead of going through the signs, it's like, hey, who's covering second, who's got first, who's got the bunt coverage on the right side. That was more of a verbal confirmation. Everybody knows their assignments. They're still kind of talking to it between Janko and Wilhide on the right side. 0-1. Rise ball misses upstairs. Count even a 1-1. Montgomery 1 for 3 in game 2. Single back in the 7th. Flew out and grounded out the other 2 at-bats. McFadden tight on the left. Wilhide ready for bunt on the right. Nothing but swinging here, and another pulled ball foul. Top of the Grizzly dugout. And now Gracie Hogg ahead 1-2. No activity in the Grizzly bullpen. Lots of confidence in Gracie Hogg, or it means we're going to Piper Wagner after this. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hogg delivers in. Misses up and away. For the Grizzlies here, a strikeout or a ground ball back to the pitcher and Hogg would be ideal. There are no outs, and there's runners at first and third. Pelaez flashes a sign. Hogg agrees and delivers. Swung on. This one's fouled back into the netting. We'll get the same count of 2-2. So Gracie Hogg, through 8 innings plus of work, will throw pitch number 100 here. Swung on. This one's hit in the left. On comes Ruth Jones, a new left fielder, tagging up at third but holding there as Jones throws a rocket into the plate. And a good timing substitution there by Kat Eilenberg, as Vandersip had been scrappy with the bat, but Jones with the better arm defensively will make that adjustment in left after Vandersip, the last at bat came up there in the 7th. So Montgomery is retired on a fly ball on the left. That's out number 1. Runners stay put at first and third. Hogg will now face Destiny Cole. She wants to square the bunt, hit down in front of home plate. McFadden scoops it up into Pelaez's hand, and they apply the tag. What a play there by Leah McFadden, and the trust for Pelaez. The ball was only 3 feet in front of home plate. And the tag applied, and the run will not count. What a play there by the Grizzlies to communicate defensively. That's out number 2 as Montgomery holds up at, LeDrew holds up at second. Cole on down to first. And with 2 outs in the inning, the Grizzlies are 1 pitch away from throwing up another 0 in extras. I mean, for Pelaez to stay at home, and then for McFadden to have the scoop with the glove. What a play there. Ground ball over to Wagner. She's going to glove it, toss it across the infield. Actually hold on to it there. She knew she wasn't going to be able to get the speed of runs there in Waldrop. So an infield single there. Smart play by Wagner. That'll load him up. So Wagner went with the pump throw. That's what got me. Hoping that the runner at third would round the corner in LeDrew, but she held on to the bag. So we got LeDrew at third, Cole at second, Woodruff over at first, back to the top of the lineup for the very, very dangerous Ela Infante. She came up with a big time RBI double in the 7th, but was left stranded there after she tied this ball game up in the top half of the inning. Took a 1-run lead in the top half of the inning. Hogg delivers in, misses upstairs. Now 2-0. nowhere to put Infante either. You're going to have to throw to her with the bases loaded. Falling behind 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Oh, got to be smart here. 2-0. Nibbles on the corner and gets a up and away strike. Much needed one, 2-1. Now you can play a little cat and mouse here. You saw Infante go the other way and just loop a ball over top of Vanyersip's head and left. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hogg delivers. Goes with it, does Infante, and fouls off to the left side. Now you got a 2-2 count. 100-plus pitches for Gracie Hogg in just her second week of collegiate competition as a true freshman out of Marietta, Georgia. In extra innings, over 100 pitches versus the 7th-ranked team in the nation. Got to have the best pitch of the day here, 2-2. Swung on, fouled off. Got to have your best pitch again, Gracie Hogg. Got to be able to repeat. Bases slam full of Rams. Big momentum swinger here. Hogg delivers. Swung on. Sliced foul over top of the Grizzly dugout. I think Infante's setting up Hogg here. We saw the double to left. Hogg has stayed away with this 2-2 delivery now in 2 straight pitches, and Infante is just fouling it off to that side. I think Infante is ready for Hogg to come back inside. This could be trouble. 2-2. Hogg stays away. Now it's full 3-2 on the changeup. Infante has seen it all from Gracie Hogg. 4 at-bats, 2 ground balls, a sac bunt, and a double. What does Gracie have in her bag of tricks? Payoff pitch. Stays away. Infante goes with it. Ruth Jones comes in. Can't make the catch. 1 run comes in to score. A second one comes in to score 2 as well. And Infante delivers for the Rams. A poked 2 RBI single over toward Ruth Jones. And Jones, rightfully so, was playing a little deep. Trying to not let that sneak double get over top of her head. But instead it's just a cool, calm opposite field base knock for a very talented Ram making her debut in this doubleheader. Going first to third is Woodruff. Rams lead 6-4 here in the 9th. So now this will bring up the right fielder and Allison Vincent. Put runners on the corners and 2 outs. Stays away, clips the corner for a strike, 0-1. Misses up and away. Make it 1-1. Vincent against Hogg in game 2. 2 for 4. Single, double, pop up in the left, ground ball to McFadden. Give her credit for a double, an RBI, and a run scored. 1-1, inside out swing, fouled up and out of play. One, 2. Hogg stays away again. Ground ball over to Wagner. A long way to go here. Pumps the throw. Can't do a whole lot with it. Another infield single for the Rams here in the 9th. Run comes in to score in Woodruff. 3 runs have been plated in this frame. 7-4. Rams leading here in the 9th. Hogg comes back at it again. This one's a slam shot down the left field line by Lindsey Sanders. And Hogg gets ahead 0-1. Sanders 0 for 4. Reached on a fielder's choice. Fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. Well, the Grizzlies will have their work cut out for them in the bottom of the ninth. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up. Bear, Wagner, and Pelaez. 0-1. That one hits on the top shelf for a strike. 0-2. I think the fans are starting to realize that the umpire is paid by the out, not by the hour. 0-2. Swung on. Base hit to the right side of the infield. On comes Raekwon Rossetti. A bobble in right. And coming in to score will be Infante. And now the hit parade is on for Mobile in the ninth. Vincent goes all the way to third. Sanders collects an RBI. And this whole rally coming with 2 outs in the ninth. A single by LeDrew got him to first and third. A fly ball to left kept him there with 1 out. And then Cole hit the fielder's choice on a heck of a play by Liam McFadden at the plate. That kept it at first and third with 2 outs. Infield single by Woodruff. Scored a run. And a 2 RBI single by Infante to left. Single by Vincent. Scored a run as well. And now Sanders on an infield single scored a run as well. So Coach Cat goes out there, tries to stop the bleeding, at least emotionally. Maybe not physically. That's up to Gracie Hogg and the Grizzlies here in the ninth. 4 runs go up. 8-4 is your score for Mobile. Who give them credit. They came back and battled in game number 1, but the Grizzlies held on to a 4-3 victory. The Grizzlies carried that momentum into game 2 with a run in the first. And the Rams could have simply just rolled over and died, but they didn't. That is a lot of credit to Allison Sellers-Cook. And once this Rams team be a World Series caliber program year in and year out, regardless of the graduating classes. And they did not roll over here in game 2. Hogg working on butts. As both these pitchers have gone quite the distance in this contest. 8+ innings of work. Butts will be 3 outs away from a victory in the bottom half of the inning. 2-0. Swung on, that one fouled off. But it's 1 for 4 in game 2. An RBI double back in the third. Fly out and a strikeout. Now misses in for a ball. 3-1. Hitters count. Swung on, fouled straight back. And now Hogg finds herself in another battle here in the ninth. This time it's with Emily Butts, fellow pitcher. Here's pitch 125 from Gracie Hogg, and it's fouled off to the left side. Been a long day for the freshman. Picked up the 2-out save in game number 1. Now 125 pitches later, we're into the ninth. And the Rams finally get to her with 4 runs in the frame. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Gracie Hogg will pick out her 4th strikeout. Maybe just a little bit left in the tank, but now it all sits at the hands of the offense. Grizzlies down 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth. And the national tiebreaker still be in effect. Kendall Bear will be leading things off here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my
Bottom of the ninth at second base.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. As the bottom of the ninth, last chance for the Grizzlies. Raekwon Rossetti, an international tiebreaker, will go up into second base. As Kendall Bear will try to kickstart another comeback for Georgia Gwinnett. They tied it up in the sixth, tied it up in the seventh, and they tie it up here in the ninth. Bear takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Kendall Bear, 2 for 4 in his second game appearance versus Emily Butts. Hit the ball hard a number of times, even scored a run back in the seventh that tied it up. Bear slices this one toward Coach Cat in the third base coach's box. Count of 1-1. Mobile sticking with their starter, Emily Butts. This will be her 115th pitch. Bear loops this one down the left field line. It'll be a foul ball past the diving effort of Woodruff. They do have Hope Kane in the bullpen. She threw game number 1 and had a tough loss. She struck out 4 and walked 2. Gave up a 3-1 homer to Leah McFadden. Outside of that, she was really good through 6 innings of work. She's been warming up since about the 4th inning down there, so she could come in a break glass emergency situation. 1-2. Bear delivers a base hit right back up the chute. As Rossetti gets the green light from Eilenberg, here comes a throw to the plate, and Rossetti gets underneath the tag. So Kendall Bear trade places with Raekwon Rossetti. It's an RBI single. That scores Rossetti. Deficit now cut to 3. This will bring up Piper Wagner. So that's one way to kickstart the rally and the comeback. Deliver a base knock and trade places. Wagner digs in. First pitch misses low and away for a ball. 1-0. Got one eye on this game and one eye on the bullpen down there. Hope Kane still got the hoodie on. Wagner, 1 for 3 in this contest. That one gets away from the catcher as Bear will take the bag over at third on the wild pitch. So again, as much as we need that run over at third, that tying run right now sits in the on-deck circle. We need Piper Wagner on the base path here. Got a hitter's count at 2-0. Wagner looks at that one in the dirt. Now it's 3-0. Wagner, walk, ground out, RBI double. Scored our second run in the game back in the 5th, then reached on that tough fielder's choice in the 7th. 3-0. Wagner taking all the way there, trying to take first base, but home plate umpire's going to reel her back in. Now a 3-1 count. I don't blame you there, Piper. Action pitch on the way here. Butts delivers in. Swung on. This one's pulled foul on the third base side. Now it's full at 3-2. Butts a little bit more methodical here in her delivery. 3-2, that one misses upstairs, ball 4. Well, here you have it, folks. The Grizzlies will have runners on the corners and nobody out, and this brings up Sydney Pelias, who represents the tying run at the dish. Hoodie still on Kane in the bullpen.
Now batting, the catcher number 22, Sydney Pelias.
So Pelias will have a chance. Keep this game alive for Georgia Gwinnett. Again, no outs. You just need to pass the bat. As much as a 3-run home run sounds just fantastic at this juncture in the game. If you're Pelias, you're just trying to get the fat part of the bat on the back of that ball. Pelias steps in versus Butts. Again, Butts been a little bit slower here in the last couple of innings. First one right over the heart there. Drop ball, 0-1. Pelaez 2 for 4 versus Butts with a pair of RBIs, including a double all the way back in the first. That's how we started the scoring. 0-1. Pelaez rakes one to the right side there. Wagner's going to have to hurry up, and she will get into second base. That scores Bear, and Pelaez does exactly what she needed to do. Fat part of the bat on the back of the ball, drives in a run. And the Grizzlies smell another comeback. It's brewing here in the ninth. Tying run is aboard with no outs. This would be Leah McFadden's spot in the lineup, but we're going to get a pinch hitter for her and Madison Martin. Madison Martin has done nothing but pinch hit her entire career, and nothing changes here. She is 3 for 6 from her freshman year and early in this sophomore season in the pinch hitting role.
Number 25, Madison Martin.
Martin, I stand corrected there. This is her second season, but she transferred in. So her sophomore season was 2 for 4 in all pinch hitting efforts. Now this, her junior season, is 1 for 2 in all pinch hitting roles. 3 for 6 lifetime in a Grizzly uniform, all coming off the bench. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. As much as I would love a 3-run homer, just keep the inning going here. Wagner, good speed up at second. Pelaez, the important one over at first. Martin squares the bunt, drops a bunt down, and it just trickles foul by a couple of inches. Honestly, Martin caught the defense off guard. She took the first pitch and never showed bunt. Then when she showed bunt the second time, nobody was really breaking in, and Martin might have had a chance to beat that out as the catcher, LeDrew, hesitated just for a moment. Decision time for Cat Islandberg in a 1-1 count. Butts delivers. Martin off and swinging, pulls it foul toward Coach Cat. Now she's in hole 1 and 2. Cindy Wilhite, the senior to right here in Lawrenceville, waits on deck. Martin trying to make this a productive at-bat, which moving the runners into scoring position would be that. 1-2. Butts delivers. Misses upstairs. Good eye by Martin. Did you honestly expect anything else out of the two of the top teams in the nation? 1-run ball game on the first match. Now you're in the second one. We're in extras all the way to the ninth. Martin swinging a miss. Went over top of the drop ball. Tough spot for Martin to be successful. She'll go down with a strikeout, and that's out number 1. Much needed strikeout for Butts and the Rams. And now this will bring up Cindy Wilhite, excuse me. Sydney Wilhite in from the right side. Got plenty of pop in that bat. First pitch, drop ball, just misses low, 1-0. There is a ton of real estate in left center field as the center fielder in Montgomery plays probably a little bit more shallow than I'm comfortable with. 1-0, that one's in the dirt, make it 2-0. Right fielder and Vincent hugs the line in right. Wilhite loves that gap in right center. And we'll probably name it after she graduates. 2-0. Went up and away, make it 3-0. Got Ruth Jones on deck, who came in defensively late in this contest for Anya Vandersip. 3-0. Comes in with a front door breaking ball, hits for a strike. 3-1. All right, Sydney, what do you got here? Your pitch, your spot, same as Pelaez. Back of the bat, or excuse me, the fat part of the bat on the ball. Butts delivers. Turned on shot, deep to left center field. Wilhite does it too! Wilhite does it too! A 3-run walk-off home run! The glory goes to the Grizzlies! Final score, 9-8. It's a sweep over number 7 Mobile as Georgia Gwinnett comes away with 3 comebacks in Game 2 alone, tied it in the 6th, tied it in the 7th, 5-run rally in the 9th. Sydney Wilhite's our hero with a 3-run homer. How about that? An unbelievable finish for Georgia Gwinnett. They defend their turf as the 5th-ranked team in the nation, and they come away with a sweep. My goodness, what a rally. Ladies and gentlemen, what a day for the Grizzlies. They come away with a pair of 1-run victories as Georgia Gwinnett wins by scores of 4-3 and 9-8. I don't even know when the Grizzlies play again. Do we care? We're going to celebrate this one. Grizzlies go 4-2 on the weekend. They improved to 7-3 on the season. Mobile's now stuck at 1-3 and a tough ride back to Lower Alabama as Georgia Gwinnett wins in walk-off fashion. As the glory Ghost.com, as well as check out our Grizzly Today post-game interview. That'll do it here. Long weekend, but a good weekend. Sydney Wilhite wins in walk-off fashion. I'm Matt Mahoney signing off, saying so long, everybody. This is the Grizzly Digital Network.
We'd like to thank our corporate sponsors who have made this broadcast possible, and you, the fans, for tuning in. For the latest information, log on to ggcathletics.com.